Hey folks, this is JR with DIY Prepper. Welcome to the channel. One of the most important things that we have is our water supply, because without access to clean water, we wouldn't last more than a few days. And over the past several years, I've done a lot of videos specifically over water storage and filtration. But when I did those, I think I may have made a big mistake in one of the things that I've been recommending to y'all. This is something that many of us use every day, and I had to stop doing that here recently because of some pretty big health problems that it was causing me. And in today's video, I'll tell you what that is, how it affected me, and how it could affect all of us if we're not careful. So getting into a little bit of backstory, I've been dealing with some pretty severe heartburn for the past several years. It's gotten so bad at some points that it has literally woken me up in the middle of the night. Now, I kind of just chalked it up to the fact that it does run in my family. My granddad, he had really bad heartburn to the point where he had like Tums stationed strategically all over the house. And then there were certain things that have triggered it, like coffee, Italian food, chocolate, stuff like that. But one thing that I always thought was weird is that it got worse around bedtime. And I would be fine most of the day. It might crop up a little bit, but whenever I got ready to go to bed, it just got so much worse, and it took me years to figure out what I was doing. Every time I would go to bed, I would start drinking one of these. And part of the reasons why I did this was to deal with heartburn that I was having, and I was blaming on other things. And it had become a consistent thing. I was doing this every day. I was drinking them during the day, and I was really drinking it even more at night. Now, before we get too far into this, if during any part of this video you're getting value out of it, you like the content, or you're a regular viewer of the channel and you just like me, I would really appreciate it if you would share this video and any others that you watch, because that's one of the best things that you can do to help content creators. It's almost, I think it's actually better than liking and subscribing and also even commenting. Of course, please continue to do those things. But if you enjoy a video, please share it, because that can definitely help it reach further. Now, the reason why I started drinking as much bottled water as I did is because the water where I live is truly horrendous. It's so bad that Erin Brockovich even released a statement about our town's water supply, talking about how bad it is. She's a water activist. And from my experience, it tastes like a nasty chemical swamp. And water in all of eastern Texas is just bad. It's just across the board, but ours, I think, might be a little worse than some places. In bottled water, it was just convenient in addition to tasting better. I could throw it in a backpack to take to work, and when I got ready to bed, I could keep it next to me without having to worry about, the blanket, knocking it over if I were to throw the covers over me and mess like that. I didn't have to worry about spilling, so that was cool. And also, from a preparedness standpoint, it did serve as a decent backup supply, or at least I thought it would, because we would buy it, use it as we need it, and rotate through it. That's why I recommended it on my channel so many times. Because you could throw a few bottles in your bug out bag. You could throw an entire case in the back of your car if you needed to bug out or go camping. So it seemed like it was very practical and convenient. But the big issue with these plastic containers is that they release microplastics and nanoplastics. Now, microplastics are 1 micrometer or thereabouts, which is around a millionth of a meter, and nanoplastics are a billionth of a meter. So they're very, very tiny, and studies have estimated that there's around like 240,000 of those particulates per liter of water, and all of them do it, but some types are probably worse than others. Disposable bottles like these are made of something called polyethylene terephthalate. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't and you're a scientist, sorry I butchered it, but we're just going to call it PET. And this is a pretty flimsy, cheap stuff. That's the reason why they use it for these little mass-produced, little bulk package bottles. And supposedly it could release more microplastics than others, such as high-density polyethylene, or HDPE. Now, HDPE is what a lot of our portable water containers are made of that we love so much in the preparedness community, and I will touch on that here later in the video. But one thing about microplastic contamination is that it gets worse when certain things happen. Like if something's used more, then more will be released over time. And then also if it's heated up. And it can also be an issue with other plastic containers, not just water bottles. Like one big one that a lot of people overlook are the ones used in like your microwavable meals. Those by their very nature are going to get heated up. And then of course also Tupperware and stuff like that. And microplastics there have been studies that show that it can cause some pretty significant health conditions, things like hypertension, ulcers, kidney stones, and diabetes. Also, I mean, I've had high blood pressure, so I kind of wonder if that contributed to it. I mean, I'm a little bit of a high-strung type A personality, so that probably had more to do with it, but this stuff probably didn't help. And it also gets worse the more that you're exposed to it. So if you're drinking multiple bottles of water like this a day, then that's a chance to have a pretty significant level of exposure. Also, if it sits in a hot car, that's not going to help. And really, who knows how in the world these things were transported? It's entirely possible that they sat on a hot truck for days at a time. And in the past, I have recommended having some of these on hand, but I don't think that I'm going to do that anymore, because if you do that, they do need to be rotated. These are not long-term storage containers, and if you're having to rotate them, that means that you have to use them. Now, I'm not saying that if this is the only water that you have in a survival situation to not drink it, because the bottom line is dehydration is going to take you out a whole lot faster than these slow burn chronic health conditions caused by microplastics. So if it's a life or death thing and it's all you have, definitely drink whatever water you can get. Of course, that's not contaminated with, something like viruses or anything like that. Now, one thing that I think has helped me out a lot is that I've started using a stainless steel clean canteen, and I've been filling it from a countertop water system. My countertop system is a Berkey. Of course, you can't really get the black Berkey filtering elements anymore, but you can get some that are very similar from other companies. And you could also use water from reverse osmosis systems. I'll be covering one of those here pretty soon, so keep your eye on that. But the Berkey and Clean Canteen combination has really helped reduce my heartburn. It hasn't gone away because, once again, I think it is a family thing, but it isn't being exasperated by those plastic water bottles anymore. Since I've been drinking out of this, bedtime isn't nearly as miserable as it used to be. And also do other things, like if I'm at home, I'll use glass cups. Now, a second ago I mentioned that all portable bulk water storage containers are made of plastic. That's true for your aquatainers, water bricks, aqua bricks, military water cans, and even the big bulk ones like 55-gallon drums and IBC totes. So you have to store water. And if you're going to be using those, which it's really your only option, it is a good idea to run water through those through a good filter, like what I've been doing with my Berkey or whatever else that you would use. And it's nice because, in addition to helping remove some of those microplastics, it could also help remove any biological stuff that started growing in there. Maybe you had a container that sat too long and has algae in it, then it can help with that. And of course, it's also going to help remove that plasticky taste if it has some sort of activated carbon or charcoal sort of element to it. And while it may not remove everything if you do that, it definitely couldn't hurt. Now, kind of changing gears a little bit, I also want to let you know of an issue that's been going on with the email newsletter. I started having problems with the company that I was doing that through a few months ago, so y'all haven't gotten emails from me in a while. And there's probably also some situations where maybe you tried to sign up, try to get the ultimate stockpile checklist, and you could not. I am aware of that, and I have been taking steps to try to fix those issues. I am with a different email provider now, so if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll probably be getting some newsletters here pretty soon, and I'm going to try to improve them over what I had done in the past. And if you signed up for the newsletter trying to get that checklist after everything all went to pot, I did try to remove all the links, but apparently people are still finding it. Then you can email me at the email address listed on my channel's About page, and I will send you a link so that you can get that. And I just want to apologize for any frustration that y'all have experienced because of technical issues on my end, but like I said, I have been trying to get them fixed. Now, if you want to see how I'd purify my family's water supply during a long-term crisis, then click here. Or if you want to see what you need to bug in, then click here. Thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a good one.